Next hour, the green and gold are in charge. Welcome to In the Huddle on the Woodward Radio Network. In the Huddle is brought to you by Mole Lake Casino. Now, here's Bill Scott and Green Bay offensive lineman T.J. Lang.
And good evening, everyone, and welcome to the fifth quarter in Little Chute. The Packers 31-3 winners over the Vikings yesterday, and chaos. Chaos broke loose in Minnesota in the Twin Cities. TJ, how you doing?
I'm doing great. It's good to be back.
Yeah, I see you got a little action at left tackle on Sunday. You want to tell the coach to just keep it to one spot? Is it a little confusing for you?
I can't. I don't really have the power to do that, but I like getting on the field.
I bet you do.
Nice.
Yeah, that's all right. And today, obviously, Brad Childress fired by the Minnesota Vikings, and I tell you, folks, you shouldn't be clapping at that because he was perfect for Packers and Packers fans having him in charge over there. Now they're going to get somebody that knows what the heck they're doing. That's not a good thing.
That's two head coaches in a row we've put out of business.
And they're already talking Mike Singletary when he plays San Francisco could be next.
Them. I was thinking Atlanta's pretty set over there, but yeah, we got San Fran over that. Who knows what could happen?
Well, it was a little bit of a slow start for the offense, but once you guys got it in gear, you pretty much really got it in gear. And big day for Rodgers, big day for Jennings. A lot of guys, a lot of players contributing in that one.
Yeah, first quarter was definitely a fight. We knew they were going to come out pretty pumped up, being at home, obviously, and we went out there and weathered the storm. Our defense played great, really the whole game, and it took us a little while to get going on offense, but once we started rolling, we didn't stop till the end of the game.
Yeah, the defense certainly. I heard Ryan Pickett after the game yesterday say, "Hey, we don't mind. There's days where they're going to save our tail too," and that's pretty much the way the attitude is on both sides, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And there's going to be days where, the offense is going to be down a little bit and the defense is going to have to work a little extra hard. And there's going to be, just the opposite. But, man, our defense has been playing outstanding lately. The last three games, they've let up 10 points total, which is, unheard of in this league. Mm-hmm. So those guys have been playing great. They've really been carrying the momentum for our team. And our offense, we're finally starting to get rolling and putting points on the board. So, we're starting to click as a whole team.
Kind of nice to see Jennings step up, and it kind of coincided with the Donald Driver injury problems and the fact that he'd been bothered by that sore groin and the quad problems. And Jennings now 7 for 152 and 3 touchdowns yesterday, 32 catches, 520 yards, and 6 touchdowns over the last 5 games. Those are pretty good numbers.
Yeah, he's a guy that when he's not getting double and triple teamed, he's going to be free, and Aaron's going to find a way to get him the ball, and he can make a lot of special things happen. I mean, you get him one-on-one with a defender, and he's going to score 99% of the time. And we got a lot of one-on-one matchups with him yesterday, and Aaron was putting them on him. He was putting perfect balls on him, and Greg's going to go up and make the catch, and he did yesterday. He had an outstanding game.
And part of the reasons why that happens is because the other guys are doing their job. Jordy Nelson's doing a great job. James Jones is getting better every week. He had another good game on Sunday. And even Brett Swain had a couple of balls that were thrown in his direction. He was open, ran good patterns. They just didn't deliver him on target. But, when you got all those different guys that you can count on, you can go to, it's more difficult to double and certainly triple team another receiver.
Yeah, I agree. And we have a lot of talent on our perimeter out there with those guys. And like you said, when you got 4 or 5 guys that can go out and run routes and catch the ball and be effective, it's hard to put 2-3 guys on them. So we get a lot of one-on-one matchups, and I think our guys are probably the top of the league of taking advantage of those one-on-one matchups and getting open and finding a spot for Aaron to put the ball.
Yeah, Packers proving that you don't have to necessarily sack the quarterback to be productive. Only 1 sack yesterday, but it was a no touchdown day, just 3 points allowed to the Vikings. They've only allowed 10 points over the last 13 quarters. That's pretty good defense.
Yeah, that's tremendous defense. And they've been taking the ball away. Our turnover ratio right now is pretty good, and that's due to our defense. And our offense, you can say the same thing. We've been holding on to the ball. We haven't been turning the ball over, but those turnovers we get from our defense, that gives us a lot of momentum when we go on offense, and we were able to capitalize yesterday, just the same we have been the past few weeks.
All right, 87 quarterback hits by the Packer defense this season, 32 for Clay Matthews alone to lead the way. Translate those numbers for us. What does that mean?
That's a lot. I mean,
if you're playing offense, you don't want your guy to get hit. How many, not that there's an acceptable number, but about how many times should it happen in a game?
I think we set our goal at, we want to be, our sack-wise, we want to be 1 or below. That's a pretty productive day. Hits-wise, you usually want to be about 3 or below. There's going to be times where they bring more that you can block. There's going to be times where, you're going to lose a guy late, but those numbers are, that's devastating to an opposing quarterback. And, even though yesterday Brett didn't get sacked a whole lot, I think one where he slid, but, you looked at him and he was basically getting helped up after every play. So those guys were getting to him, they were rattling him, and they've been doing the same thing all year. So they find ways to put different blitzes out there and confuse opposing teams' quarterbacks. And even though you're not getting a sack, you're still hitting them. That's going to be in the back of his mind next time. He drops back to throw the ball.
So to use your numbers, then, the Packers' number of hits on opposing quarterbacks are probably about 40 of those 87. They're about 40 ahead of what your acceptable numbers would be, somewhere in that ballpark.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what our number is, but I think we could, compared to last year.
Actually, it's more than that. It's 50 because you played 10 games, and if you say 3 is the acceptable number, that's 30. There's 87 hits right now, so it's more than 50.
Yeah,
57 more hits than what you guys would be acceptable. Which is really,
that's a devastating number.
That's a huge number.
That's a gigantic number. But I think, offensively, we've been doing a pretty good job. The guys up front taking care of Aaron. There's going to be times where he's going to get popped every once in a while. And we don't like it, obviously. You can't be perfect on every play. But, I think, especially compared to last year, the guys, have been stepping up and protecting him a lot better. And we understand that when we give him time, he's going to sit back there just like he did yesterday and find open guys and make some great throws and put some points on the board.
All right. When we come back a little bit later on in the program, we'll also take your email questions at inthehuddleshow.com. We'll reward one email participant with a 2-night stay and lift tickets for 2 days to Granite Peak Ski Area. We'll tell you more about that throughout the program. Justin Hall will be along to get those questions from our audience. We'll continue in the huddle with TJ Lang and be back to meet our guest tonight. Back with more after this on the Woodward Radio Network.
Back to In the Huddle with Bill Scott and Green Bay offensive lineman TJ Lang.
And we are back here at the fifth quarter in Little Chute. Good to have you along. Our program brought to you tonight by Mole Lake Casino Resort and Conference Center. Our guest tonight is in his 4th NFL season out of the University of Colorado. He is a Buffalo number 2, Mason Crosby.
Hello.
Thanks for coming out, Mason.
Thanks for having me.
A rather light day at the office for you yesterday, and when you finally get indoors, you get that controlled climate and all that kind of stuff. You probably look forward to getting as many chances as you can, and only one field goal came your way yesterday.
Yeah, that's how the season's kind of been turning out. It looks like it kind of goes that way. Everything evens out, so I'm expecting at least 3 field goals next week because it seems like we've been going 2 a game. If I don't get one, then I have 4 the next game, so it's just it's been going that way, but. Yeah, yesterday I kind of looked at Coach and tried to get one at the end there, just to pad the stats, but he wasn't wanting to run it up, I guess.
Yeah, he wasn't. Well, you shouldn't have worried about hurting Brad Childress's feelings because he wasn't. He's not around anyway.
Yeah, yeah, and they started going deep after that. I mean, they were still trying to score. We should have done something.
Well, I tell you, I'm trying to think. We had the big time announcing crew, didn't we? Yeah, the guy, the Fox #1 crew, and they were dissing the Vikings a little bit for that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they thought that
for going deep at the end there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I know. I saw Woodson this morning, and I was just like, what'd you think when they they went deep? And he was like, I didn't mind it. I thought I was going to get another interception, and He said he went to jump, and that guy kind of pulled him, and he said that was the only thing he was mad about. I was like, well, I guess that's what you get whenever you think you're going to pick everything that's thrown to you.
Yeah, well, the Fox guys, after they went deep the first time, the Fox guys said, I hope Clay Matthews rushes hard and sacks him. That's what he said. Wow, you guys are the #1 Fox crews, and you can't be a little more unbiased than that.
Yeah.
It was just unnecessary.
Yeah,
I mean, you're losing by 28 points with 10 seconds left.
Yeah, just hand it off.
Yeah, it was. And our guys, I mean, you looked at our defense; they weren't even rushing. They were kind of expecting a little run, to end the game. And I was hoping Clay was going to go get a sack too that last play.
If Favre dropped back, I think it was just standing there, flat-footed. He didn't even have anything prepared. It seemed like he might. Who knows? He might have called that on his own. He might have just gone out there and said, "All right, I'm going to go deep a couple times."
So let me ask you: when Mike McCarthy deferred to the second half after winning the coin flip, were you guys all aware of that ahead of time, or were you thinking like, "What is this guy crazy or what?"
No, he actually. The first I heard of it was the night before. He told us in the team meeting we're going to defer if it happens, and so we were prepared, and I think the offense might have been a little happy about it. Just seeing our defense stop them and get the second try to go get some points. Obviously, they say we started a little slow, but once we got on fire, we started rolling.
What did you think of that?
I liked it. Coach came in the team meeting and told us that if we won the toss, we were going to defer, and told the defense that he wanted to get them on the field first to go out there and cause some havoc. And I think they went out. I don't know if it was 3 and out, but they didn't score, and we got the ball on offense. And when you see your defense go out there and make a stop on the first series, that gives you some confidence. So we had no problem with it.
Yeah, he said he's never done it before in his entire coaching career. Whenever he's been in charge of that, he's never done that, and I think it's a statement it's almost like a reward to your defense. They're saying, you know what, you guys have been doing such a great job. We believe so much in you that we want that ball to start the second half. We're going to send you out there and we're going to bank on you.
I agree. I mean, with the way they've been playing the last 2-3 weeks, how can you disagree with that? And I also like to call to change it up a little bit. I mean, NFL, it seems like it's so different from college. You look at college, every team kind of wants to defer to the second half. You look at the NFL, everybody wants to take the ball to start the game off. So I like the change up to go out there and put the defense out there first, and they went out there and got the job done.
Yeah, statement for the defense, and maybe a little braggadocious type deal,
They deserve it.
We're better than you are.
They earned it, though. I
mean, they've allowed 10 points in the last 3 games.
They've earned the right to be called, in my opinion, one of the top defenses in the NFL. So they went out there, and I have no problem putting them on the field first. They're going to go out there and do their job.
They were, what did they finish last year? Second scoring defense in the NFL?
Yeah, top 2.
Like I can't remember. And so they're at the top again. And there's still time to go, but that's a good spot to be right now. It's better than fighting your way up, at the very end. So they're doing a great job.
Yeah, they're doing awesome.
14 of 19 in the field goal department so far. Assess your season so far and how you hit the ball. I mean, everything appears to look pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, as far as field goals go, I feel like I'm hitting them as well as I have. Everything is just had one go the wrong way. At the Redskins, that's the one I look at, but that one always I try not to look back too much because that next kick, the next one's the most important. But if I do look at one as I go back through the season. I look at that and I watch the film over and over after it happened, and it was like, man, I hit the ball exactly how I wanted to. I watched the tape, and my fundamentals, everything looked good. It just right at the end, it turned left. So I was talking to TJ on the way down here, and I think everyone we all almost started celebrating because it was right down the middle, and then it just kind of took a hard left turn, hit that upright. But after I look at that, I had. Was able to score all the points against the Jets. Missed one right there in the second half, but that wind was tough. But I do feel good with how I'm hitting the ball, and just got to keep making everything inside of 45 yards. That's that's the ultimate goal, and just keep doing my job as far as scoring points. Keeping this team because our defense playing so well. Even yesterday, it looked like it kind of in that first first half of the game until we got that 3 points and started rolling. It looked like it might be a tight fought ball game, and every kick's going to matter. So being able, I got that 3 points, tied it, and then we kind of took control and got after it. And that's how I look at it. Every kick, regardless of its first quarter or that game winner, it's every kick in this NFL just means so much because it can kind of change the flow of the game, make or miss. So I think it's important as this stretch, as we go trying to make this playoff run, that that everything needs to be as solid as possible.
I thought your preseason was excellent. I thought your training camp was excellent. You really hit the ball well. Mm-hmm. They didn't bring anybody in, and really that's a tremendous statement of confidence from them to you. Mm-hmm. So you kind of just go in and do your thing. Does that ease the mind a little bit?
I don't know. I take the same approach. Bring someone in or not. I have to do my job. And I have to perform and make kicks and be consistent there. Or that's it's my job regardless if there's another guy or there or not. And half my job is mental preparation, things like that. And then then you just have to rely that the physical thing's going to follow suit. So I really had a good mindset coming into this season, and things. It sometimes didn't go, I obviously didn't get that game winner, but, who knows when that next one's going to come, and I feel confident, to be called upon, whenever that happens. And, I already had, I have some long attempts, was able to hit a 56-yarder against Philadelphia, and, I was really happy about that, going into halftime and getting that Packer record. That was really cool. And then, who knows, down this road, we go to Atlanta, it's going to be a tough fight game. Everything's going to count there. We're all going to have to be firing on all cylinders.
You won the league scoring title in 2007. What do you get for that? Little pat
Nothing.
Pat
on the back. It's
atta boy.
Yeah, everyone says, "All right, good job. Try to do it again next year." It's no plaque or anything.
You'd think you'd get something for that, fire your agent. He should have written that in your contract.
He should. Yeah, maybe he should have sent me something, right? No, it was a cool deal, and they just said, good job. Let's try to continue that. And I guess I've had the most points by anyone in 3 years, and I'm on pace here to have the most by anyone in 4. So just have to keep scoring points. This offense is clicking now, and we're going to get a lot of opportunities because our defense gives us so many. So as we keep scoring more points, the opportunities for me to score are going to keep coming.
Yeah. Obviously, conducive to scoring points is an offense like this, no question about it. All right, when we come back, more with TJ Lang and our special guest Mason Crosby tonight. Don't forget, email your questions to inthehuddleshow.com. Each week we'll reward one email participant with a 2-night stay and lift tickets for 2 to Granite Peak. More after this on the Woodward Radio Network.
Now back to In the Huddle with Bill Scott and Green Bay offensive lineman TJ Lang.
And we are back here at the 5th quarter. Good to have you along here this evening on this Monday night after the Packers knock off the Vikings 31-3 yesterday. Transportation provided by L&S Classic Limousine Service. Personal professional service for all occasions. Call 800-830-5933 for reservations with Lenny and Sue in the audience tonight. Lenny, thank you. Lenny gets it done, doesn't he? Yeah.
Lenny's the man.
My mic. Oh, there we go.
There you go.
Wasn't working there.
Lenny and Lenny, I like the little gold piece up there. It's kind of like the part of the Mr. T starter kit. Yeah.
He's got the whole look now.
He might be involved in the mafia somewhere. I don't know.
That's good stuff. All right. How thrilled were you guys to be able to? Let's face it. The Vikings have become maybe the most hated rival that you guys play, and you knock them out of the, they're not mathematically eliminated, but for all practical purposes, they're out of it. Big sense of accomplishment, big thrill there to be able to pull that off.
Yeah, I think so, especially after last year when they knocked us off twice, to take the NFC North crown. Especially to go in their house and beat them the way that we did, by 28 points. it was a good feeling. It was a tremendous confidence boost for our team. Because, I mean, even though that their record is still pretty bad, I mean, you look across the board and they still got a lot of talent on that team. To go in there and do that to them at their own house was it was a good feeling.
0 turnovers and 0 penalties for the offense yesterday. That's like,
it was huge.
Knock on wood.
Yeah.
But that's like 3 weeks in a row with no turnovers, and the penalties over the last 4 weeks have been 3, 2, 3, and now 0.
Well, that's something we stress every week going into our preparation on Wednesdays. We talk about being disciplined, and we talk about taking care of the football. And we've really done a tremendous job the last 3 or 4 weeks of doing that. And we've noticed the difference that it makes not only for our point production, but also for our defense. When we don't put them in bad field position to start off a drive, they can recover better and stop teams. So, it's something we preach. We practice every day, and every day we'll practice that. We'll set a period of time apart where we'll do ball security drills, and our guys have been doing a great job taking care of the football, and it's led to better point production.
You guys going to send Wade Phillips and Brad Childress Christmas cards at least?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
it's a business, man. And you look at those two teams, and I mean, early in the year they were two teams that were talked about, Super Bowl contenders, and unfortunately it hasn't worked out for their teams, and we've played them. Both our games we played against them, they were kind of down in the dumps, but. Sometimes those teams are the most dangerous, the teams that kind of play like they have nothing to lose, and we were able to keep them down. So, we've done a tremendous job of doing what we're supposed to do, beating the teams we're supposed to beat.
Yeah. I thought Brett Favre was this close, and for all of you folks at home, my fingers are about a centimeter apart. He was that close to crying yesterday after the game in his post-game press conference.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, he was choking up.
Really?
Yeah.
I could imagine.
Yeah.
It's been a rough year for him.
I don't, what I don't understand is everybody I talk to, I don't get it. This guy's got the second lowest quarterback rating in the National Football League. It's not a small sample size. There's quite a bit to go on here. And, everybody sits there and says, well, he gives you the best. He's playing because he gives us the best opportunity to win, yada, yada, yada. Yet the guy's, got 17 interceptions. He's responsible for 22, 23 turnovers already at this point of the season. Why do people, he's had a great career, much of it here in Green Bay, but why do people feel like they have to make excuses for the guy? He's playing terrible, and I don't care what they think they have in Tavares Jackson or anybody else on that bench. At some point, even if it's just at some point late in a football game, what's he still doing in there? I don't get it.
Well, I think something about Brett, when he plays, I think he's more of a momentum type guy. When he gets hot, he usually stays on a pretty good roll. And, I think that's something that people have kind of been waiting for this year. And he had a good game against Arizona, but, still the interceptions kind of dwell on him.
Yeah, that's one.
And, and he really hasn't been getting, he hasn't gotten off yet this year. He hasn't gotten off he hasn't had a great game where he's put everything together to build on. So, I think teams have been kind of keeping him down where he's at, forcing him to throw interceptions and make turnovers, and he hasn't really built the momentum that he needs to, pick him up to where he's been playing at. So,
it just happened. The first time we played him, they were driving down. He almost had to throw to Harvin right in the back of the end zone to steal one from us. It's. Like last year, those things went his way. He had that one at the 49ers and, all of those kind of last-second things. So I think that's like what TJ is saying is everything, if he gets on that roll, who knows what can happen. And I think that's just kind of, especially now where they're at in their season, like, why not just keep seeing if some magic could kind of, come out of this. So. Obviously, like you said, not mathematically they're out of it, but who knows? They might be reaching for something. Yeah. It's like the Cowboys have won 2 now.
Yeah, and I think Jared Allen said it, and that's basically what the Cowboys do. You don't worry about playoffs, you don't worry about anything. You just got to put together a game.
Yeah.
You just got to go try to win a game because that's what they need most. That's what the Cowboys needed most. You just got to get it pointed back in the right direction. And if you can't make the playoffs, you can't make the playoffs. But it's better than I mean, your fans deserve more than that.
Yeah.
It would be the same thing here. I mean, the fans would want you to turn it around. If you're not going to make the playoffs, win as many games as you can and just start playing good football and stop worrying about, the things that are out of your control. Were you aware of them yelling at each other on the sidelines? Or I mean, Ray Edwards was apparently taking shots at defensive back, and Bevel and Favre were kind of going at it on the sidelines.
No, I didn't really see. The Favre. I didn't see the Ray Edwards thing, but the Favre thing, I didn't see that until after the game. I think I was on my phone looking at some highlights, and they showed that. But I mean, you could tell. When I would run out there for the PAT or the field goal attempt, and you could tell their defensive line and their defensive backs were not on the same page. I mean, they were yelling at each other to, hey, you got to cover better. Well, hey, you got to rush the passer better. And they were just a separated team at that point, and we were out there just kind of laughing, just like knowing that they couldn't really stop us, but. When you got a team doing that, especially during a game, I mean, there's pretty much no hope left when when you're separated that far apart, where guys start arguing on the field and even on the sidelines. I mean, you pretty much lose all hope to win the game.
Yeah, defensive backs did struggle, but I'll tell you one thing: you get to the second half, maybe after that first touchdown of the second half, their pass rush disappeared. I mean, they stopped trying too.
Yeah.
Those guys up in front, they can say whatever they want, but their game disappeared as well. I know you didn't see it yesterday, but the hit that Richard Seymour leveled against Ben Roethlisberger yesterday, I've got to believe there's a suspension coming out of that.
Absolutely, and I would imagine probably a pretty hefty fine too. And that was shocking. Richard Seymour's usually a pretty class act guy. I mean, he's been around the league for quite some time now, and I think Ben Roethlisberger probably said something pretty nasty to him to get him to punch him in the face like that. And Ben claims he didn't say anything, except I think Ben said, hey, let's get ready for the extra point. And that means I don't know why a guy would turn around and deck you in the face for saying that.
Out and said,
no, I mean, he apologized.
He said something more?
I saw he apologized to his teammates because he got ejected after that, and he apologized to his teammates for doing that, but he hasn't said, he hasn't given his side of the story to the whole thing.
I heard there were lots of fights in that game. They just kept kind of
yeah, there were.
Just getting after it.
The Steelers were pounding them pretty bad.
Yeah.
The Raiders, I mean, they've kind of been on a roll lately, so that was probably a shock to them. But that was uncalled for in my book, and he's probably going to get maybe a suspension, but definitely a fine.
Yeah. Tennessee, Vince Young didn't like what things were happening, so he decided to go to the locker room on his own and decided to take his shoulder pads and jersey and throw them in the stands. He comes back today and says, well, I was throwing them to my family.
Yeah, sure.
Just take home for him. Keep these for me, huh? Yeah, I don't think that one goes over well with the people upstairs, the coaches. Yeah, I think I read something. Fisher already went out and said he's not starting anymore.
Yeah. Red Batty would have
Red wouldn't be too happy.
Yeah. Our equipment guys would go up there and chase him down.
Stay tuned. The Granite Peak Ski Area email segment's coming up. Your chance to win a ski package valued at more than $400. Back with more in the Huddle from the fifth quarter after this on the Woodward Radio Network.
Back to In the Huddle with Bill Scott and Green Bay offensive lineman T.J. Lang.
And we are back here at the fifth quarter in Little Chute. In the Huddle, heard on many great radio stations around the state like WDUX-FM in Wapaka, WDLB in Marshfield, WOCO in Oconto, WTSO in Madison, WMAM in Marinette, and up in Tomahawk on WJJQ. Time now for the Granite Peak email segment. Granite Peak Ski Area in Wausau, the tallest and largest ski area in Wisconsin with 700 vertical feet and 74 runs. Granite Peak offers terrain for all levels of skiers, along with 6 terrain parks and tree skiing glades. Right now, you can save big money on season passes and multiple day lift tickets by visiting skigranitepeak.com. Great specials on now at skigranitepeak.com. All right, now let's head out to the audience. Question time for our emailers. Let's go out to Justin Hull.
All right, thanks, Bill. We'll start with Craig in Reedsburg. This one's for you, Mason. He wants to know, how does it affect you when an opposing team calls a timeout before kicking a game-winning field goal? Man,
I've gotten that one a lot this year. I I try not to ever think about it because it's kind of become part of the game. But in all reality, I've seen it a lot this year where coaches are choosing not to call the timeout. It's almost like let's change it up and not call it. So I go out there, any kick, anytime, before a half, whatever, where there might be a situation like that, and you just have to kind of take it the same way. Can't ever expect it to happen because it might not. So I just try not to think about it. And if it happens, if they call it in the middle of my kick, I'm gonna kick the ball, regardless. And if they do that, then you kind of get a free kick and get a second chance at it.
Is that something you could practice? I mean, you guys practice calling the timeout, just kind of setting the routine. That sort of
thing? I think we have once or twice, yeah. But like I said, it's not one that. I try not to think about it. It's just go out there, plan on making the kick, and then if a timeout gets called, you regroup and kind of go back through your routine and do it all again.
All right. Well, after the softball, we'll go to kind of a fastball here from Terry from Freedom. What are players saying about the potential lockouts which could be ensuing next year?
Ooh, you want to talk about that one too, Jay? No, I was talking to some guys today. I mean, it's just. It's one of those things that we hope something gets done, and we're able to continue playing and get a deal that just works for everybody, and that we can continue this game because the NFL is it's a great game, great we love being a part of it, so we want to get something done so we can keep having fun and playing some games next year.
From the player side, do you have a team representative? I mean, how does that work? Is it just you guys kind of sit back and just kind of see what happens, or what?
Almost, yeah. We have a team rep. One of our players.
Well, Aaron's taken over.
Yeah, Aaron took over. Mark Tauscher has done it for the last few years. But, they kind of go in and sit in the meetings with the union guys, and they basically give them updates on, where the arguments are going or what. What progress is being made, but
negotiations.
Yeah, negotiations, like they like to call it. But for us as players, it's really out of our control. We don't have any say in it. It's kind of in the back of everybody's mind. Nobody wants it, but it's starting to look more and more like it's a great possibility of happening. So I think guys are kind of taking all the precautions. Really saving up the money and, preparing for it. But as of right now, where we're at, we're looking at finishing out the season and where we're going and finishing that out. But, it's not going to be a good thing if it's locked off for anybody, owners, players, fans especially.
I would imagine, too, that it's important for both sides and maybe even more the players, because that's the fans identify closer with the players, to not get into this long, drawn-out battle where you're arguing over money, because everybody knows the owners make a mint, and everybody knows the players make plenty of money. Mm-hmm. It's a high-salary game, and fans don't want to sit there and hear about the money because everybody's getting a lot of it anyway.
Well, there's just a few issues, in terms of like the concussion thing and health and safety of players, and we've seen a lot of that this year as try to eliminate some of the rough hits and things like that, and so things are going in the right direction, trying to figure out how that's all going to go in the future. You got to come up with some kind of agreement where here's what's what's going to happen, or just you got to have the rules in place. And it's one of those how I look at it is I'm preparing for the worst. You got to just be prepared, and then just hope that it gets worked out in time, and that things get done so that both sides are and one side's not going to relatively happy, I guess is what we're going to say, and then just move on, because we don't want to stop playing. This game's just too big, and just lots of fun for so many people.
Right.
So many people are
Well,
involved.
you look at it from a fan's perspective. I mean, there's some fans that look at it, the players being greedy. Well, we're not the ones who had the idea of a lockout. The owners are the ones who came to us with a different proposal. I mean, the players, everybody was happy with the way everything was going. And on a level,
they opted out of the old
and
agreement.
they kind of opted out of the old agreement. They wanted to do a new one, and that's where all the problems started. They wanted to change so many things, and I mean, not even from a money perspective on the players' behalf, but just more of a safety perspective. I mean, you got to look at that. I think that's caused the most commotion with the negotiations, and hopefully they can get it fixed soon because, everybody wants to have a job next year.
Well, it's just a battle between, owners saying financially they're at risk, players saying, safety and health-wise we're at risk. So it's kind of a push. It's just a pulling game on what is more important as far as risk. It's like, guys go out on the field every Sunday and, take that risk. So.
All right, for two guys that didn't want to answer that question, you certainly took a long time, didn't you?
Sorry.
Holy
It's a
smokes.
big issue.
All right, we'll, you know what? We'll give you have a couple more.
We can do a couple more.
We'll do a couple more when we get back from the break. It's our email segment from Granite Peak Ski Area. We'll have more coming up after this on the Woodward Radio Network.
Now, back to In the Huddle with Bill Scott and Green Bay offensive lineman T.J. Lang.
And we are back. Mason Crosby, our guest on the program this evening. We're live at the fifth quarter in Little Chute. Packers with a big win over the Vikings, and Atlanta is around the corner. And we do want to say congratulations. I just heard Mason talking with the folks in front of us here. You and your wife had your first child.
Yes.
A few months ago.
Yeah, in August.
And what did and what did TJ ask you?
What's that? What did you
I
ask?
asked if he was talking yet.
Oh, yeah.
Changing his own
Is he
diapers.
talking, walking around?
4 months old.
Not a
He's
baby
smiling,
yet.
so he makes noises. I wouldn't classify as talking.
All right, we got a couple more email questions to finish out the segment. Justin?
Yeah, you guys like the hard hitters, so we'll
Yeah.
get to this one. What are the Thanksgiving plans as a team? That one coming from Vicky in Appleton.
What are you doing? You don't know? Just going to have Thanksgiving meal. We don't even know what our schedule is, so don't know if we have practice all day or if, Coach has been usually pretty good about giving us a little time off, but, who knows? It's, Thanksgiving. It seems like Thanksgiving gets skipped. Christmas decorations are up everywhere, so who knows? Hopefully we don't skip Thanksgiving.
How many?
I love turkey.
How many turkeys can you eat?
How many?
How many turkeys?
A couple whole ones.
I don't think I've ever tried, but
TJ versus food. We'll do that next week. Right?
Nice.
We'll get to the last question here. This one coming from Steve for you, Mason. When you kick short and high as you did against Minnesota on Sunday, do you guys take that into consideration when reviewing your annual stats?
Yeah, I think every kickoff goes kind of onto those stats, but I think we more look at those as I think they'll break it up, whenever because we have like a sheet what we did on each kick, so they'll break it up and say, okay, we kick long here. Here's what the numbers are, and then here's when we changed it up and did different things. So they should, it should be clear what our intentions were. But this last game we kicked to them deep first and just changed it up every kick and made them guess, and we did a good job, kind of holding them to nothing really big there.
All right, so those were the 4 questions. Which one's our winner tonight?
We'll go with Vicky from Appleton with the Thanksgiving quest. We'll go festive here. So
yeah.
There you go.
All right, so Vicky wins the gift package from Granite Peak Ski Area in our email segment. Package worth more than $400. And you can certainly get in on that next week and each and every week that we have left in the program. So you didn't kick away initially from Harbin, and a lot of people thought you would. What was the concept there?
I thought it was, just to kind of get them spread out maybe a little bit. We kick deep, and then we start changing it up because they throw out kind of a different formation. They'll put their I guess backline guys up, on like the 30 and just have like a lot of space for Harvin to go try to catch any kind of ball. And so, we tried to back them up a little bit, and then you start changing it up. And it was a good game plan, and I think our coverage did a great job executing and going down there and just stopping everything that was out there. I kind of had to get in on a tackle once, so I don't mind getting in on him every once in a while. I get kind of mad and just go after him, but he stumbled. I thought I was going to get a face mask at first because I kind of grabbed at his helmet, but I just grab whatever I can and try to pull him down.
I tell you, the two that you're trying to wedge on the sidelines on the right side.
They were a little close, huh?
They were a little close, but I tell you, when they, that was good.
Yeah. I mean, I just try to get them as wide outside of the numbers. With hang time like that, if they don't catch them, our guys were right there. So it's one of those. If you get enough hang time, then they're kind of forced to catch them, or our guys might have a chance to get it. So those worked out, and the one right at the end of the half, we were able to tackle them inside 20, run out the time, and everything kind of worked in our favor because as it was going, as we started getting the lead, it was Percy Harvin might have been their only chance on those kickoffs to get something happening, and we executed well just to keep the ball, keep him guessing, keep the ball cleanly out of his hands so he couldn't just run back at us.
Did you ever do a loop kick and have somebody call a fair catch?
Yeah, that actually was kind of what we were expecting, and he kept catching them and kind of trying to come forward, and we were just right there ready, open field tackle. It didn't seem like they had anyone to block our right side. So the intention is to kick it and just have them fair catch it there, 25 to 30-yard line, but they kept trying to return them.
Okay, you guys got Atlanta this week, and they're a team that's 8-2. Since Matt Ryan has taken over quarterback of the Falcons, they have only lost one football game at the Georgia Dome since he's been the quarterback. So they're pretty good, and they have some real big-time weapons. I think translation is we're in store for a pretty darn good football game. There's a lot of offense on both sides.
I mean, I was saying earlier, it's every point, everything's going to count in this game, and we have to execute, to the best of our ability and make sure that we keep those penalties low, don't turn the ball over, and get as many turnovers as we can because this game's going to be tight. That's at least what we're going in to play it, and just try to get that edge where we can take advantage of some things.
All right, now I know you fell victim to it last year, correct? The Thanksgiving stuff, and I know we don't want to say too much. We'll look forward to some stories next week. I'm sure you'll have them, but. It's always Thanksgiving's always a special time of the Green Bay Packers, right?
Yeah, it is. It's a good time, especially for the rookies.
Yeah.
Good laugh on the rookies. But.
Well, I tell you what, the swirling. I mean, you're dodging the bullet for a little while here, but those last couple of games, the swirling winds, the cold air, the wind. Maybe we'll get a little snow. That's coming.
Yeah.
Do you like that challenge?
Yeah, I'm just taking these 2 weeks. Being inside, have to make sure. Everything, we take care of business there, and then we'll come back outside against the 49ers, and our first December game. It's going to be cold. You just have to deal with it. It's kind of, you think 3 hours of cold and kind of miserable, and come out with a win.
All right, congratulations on the newborn,
thank you.
And best of luck the rest of the way.
I appreciate it.
Mason Crosby, our guest on the program this evening. Thanks to our producer, Reggie Razou, our engineer, Evan Stanek, Mark Zahn, our video coordinator, and Justin Hull here on location. I'm Bill Scott. We'll see you next Monday night here on the Woodward Radio Network.